I am here with the undeniable Adrian Galindo. He is going to be competing at RUF 43 this Sunday over at the Celebrity Theater in downtown Phoenix. That's Sunday, August 29th. He's going to be taking on Musgrove at 170 pounds. So my first question for you, we'll start off right away with, how is training camp? Go ahead.
It's been fantastic, my man. 7 days a week. Good strength and conditioning, cardio, jiu-jitsu, striking. I've been really lucky with my team over at Jay Page's Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. Some great coaches and Jay Page's, Doug Christophus, Charles Rayburn, as well as some of the best jiu-jitseros in the state. I think you guys are also familiar with Andres Ponce, who's one of my teammates. So I've had nothing but great luck and hard work going into this, my man. And I'm excited. I'm ready for that debut.
All right, and what are you looking to get out of this debut here?
I mean, that W first and foremost, right? I've been trying to fight MMA for just about 2-3 years right now, and with COVID and affiliates and people pulling out, it just hasn't worked out thus far. So on the bright side, I'm able to make my amateur MMA debut and made my pro jiu-jitsu debut, through Fight to Win a couple weeks ago. Luckily got the dub there. I'm looking to take it, my man. Looking to do the best that I can do, and hopefully, one day be taking that title home.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And what are the aspirations? What is the end goal for the Undeniable?
I want to be the most dangerous man on the planet, my man. Come on. I think everybody's got the same aspirations, right? You want that dub. You want that big dub with the belt, that big studded belt across the waist. I have always just found martial arts to be one of the better vessels for cultivating human potential. And I've fallen in love with just the journey in and of itself. So I know that, some of my best days and worst days are ahead of me, and I just look forward to actually living them out.
Yeah, definitely. And, with MMA, you have the highest highs. You're talking about belts and, aspirations. Then it also has the lowest lows, right?
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't say nobody, because I guess Habib did retire undefeated. But, he was undefeated, right?
Yes, sir. 39-0.
Okay. Wow. I don't know how that one just, boop, gone. But because that's how rare that is, right? It is so rare to retire undefeated. And, it's a tough game, this MMA. So what got you here?
I've always been an athlete. Grew up playing soccer pretty competitively. My dad was my coach for most of my young life, and got into high school, kind of fell out of love with it, but found wrestling. And luckily, the team that I was at Royal High School in Simi Valley, California, was a pretty solid wrestling program. And I was very lucky there to have some good coaches and good teammates. And when I went to college, I just kept looking for that competitive draw. I attempted to pole vault in college. I pole vaulted through community college pretty competitively. I was hoping to walk onto a D1 school, and ended up tearing my ACL. And luckily at the time, I was training jiu-jitsu, training Muay Thai, and kind of, just fell more in love with that, and specifically just the absolute grind of it, man. It's the single hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I think most people would agree that it's one of those things. That, as well as just the camaraderie, whether it's between your teammates and coaches, or even the opponents, there's a level of camaraderie and respect that it takes to beat the living hell out of each other, and then hug each other. Good game, man. Like, maybe you won this time, maybe I won this time. We'll run it back, and I've always loved that.
Yeah, it's one of those sports that literally you can beat the shit out of each other and afterwards buy each other a beer, right?
Yes,
it's
sir.
Not like on the streets. If you mop or get mopped, I mean, that's it. It's done. Yeah. It's over. Here, like you said, there's a great level of respect between two competitors. And I think that's what really draws, a decent chunk of people into this is, the competitiveness, and then also like the respect and camaraderie that you were talking about. It's pretty legit.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now we got those questions out of the way. We could push that to the side, right? Because I got this question here, right? Nobody goes through my show and doesn't get to answer this question.
I
Okay.
love it.
And I'm really hoping that you can knock this one out of the park, right? I'm hoping that you could bring me such a good answer that I'm floored. That, I want to be floored this time. So check it out, right? After the fight is over, the referee raises your arm. The announcer announces you as the winner. I want to know how you are celebrating with that victory meal.
Oh, that victory meal. Let's see.
Yeah.
Probably a nice 16-ounce ribeye, man. Like some steak, maybe some veggies, just to even it out. But definitely some red meat, my man. Cooked medium rare to perfection.
Oh,
I'm not a huge. The older I get, and I joke because I'm only 28 years old, but the older I get, the more I like appreciate the way a good meal makes me feel, and like particularly a healthy meal. Whatever that means to you. But yeah, probably maybe a beer or two. We'll see. I'm not I was just listening to the Hickson Gracie on JRE, and man, when he talks about like you don't celebrate victories because this is work. We're just samurais going to war. Like you don't celebrate because tomorrow that could be you taking the L. And so I've kind of been thinking about that a lot lately. So I don't know how much celebration there will be, but definitely a good meal.
okay. So I'll give you my opinion on that little bit right there. I am not Hicks and Gracie. If I win at anything, and I'm the worst winner, everybody knows when I win something. That's how often I win, right? Everybody
Yes,
knows that I won, that I'm the winner, right? And it is balls to the wall celebration. And then, on Monday we can get back to the gym and we can worry about that, right?
yes, sir.
Whatever weight I gained, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but definitely down with the ribeye. That's my favorite cut of the cow, right? And then you threw in a couple cervezas to wash it down. I want to talk about the veggies though, because yes, I'm a fucking fat ass, but I eat my veggies.
Yes,
I
sir.
eat my veggies. Okay.
Hey, my
So
man.
what are we eating? Is it corn on the cob? Is it steamed broccoli? What is it?
Let's see. Probably if I had to go with some, I'm honestly, man, I'm a big fan of salads with a steak. Maybe some for whatever reason, like cucumbers. I do actually. So, I mean, one of my sponsors is my place of employment. Place I've been really lucky to be a part of. This restaurant right here, Bacanora, and we have a killer 32-ounce ribeye, actually, a wood fire grill. It's one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life, man. So there's definitely that. Brussels sprouts for sure. Like some onions. You gotta get some. You gotta get some flavor. You gotta get some spice, brother. So I'd probably stick to that. Keep it simple but delicious.
Oh man. I mean, there is nothing simple about a good steak. Okay. There is nothing, it is complex, okay, to its core. But
Yes,
I
sir.
am 100% behind this victory meal. And you know what? It's better than the cop out, right? Oh, I'm gonna have me some beers and some Dos Equis, right? Yeah, you could do that any fucking day. You could do that any
100%.
day. But you don't eat steak every day, right? You don't
I
eat
do
steak
not.
every day. That is
I
a
try.
treat.
At least once a week.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. All right. And then outside of MMA, right? And outside of, victory meals, what are some things that you like to do in your spare time for fun?
Um, man, I like to try to be as eclectic as I can. Like to read and write a lot. I play some instruments. Not well. I see you got that bass in the back. Maybe we could jam sometime. I
Yeah.
play some electric guitar, some piano. Trying to learn as best as I can. White belt forever in those. Uh, a lot of combat sports, brother. That's where I spend most of my time, whether it's teaching or competing or just training. Falling in love with that grind. Beyond combat sports, most of what I do is involved with the restaurant here. I was really lucky to have a good friend in the chef Renee, who he brought me on board as part of the team here. So as opposite as it is in terms of like health, I spend a lot of time working on cocktails and beverage menus and mezcales and all those fun spirits and stuff. Um, so even though I wouldn't say that I'm a big drinker, I definitely I spend a lot of time working with the finer parts of life, you know, the pinky up, glass of wine, Cabernet Francs, Bordeaux's, Bourgognes. So a lot of that, man. And I've been really lucky in my life to have employers and friends who have supported me, and this is another one of them. So definitely spend most of my time between combat sports and restaurants. It's really it.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. And the family, how does the family feel about you competing in this pretty dangerous sport?
Yeah. So I mean, I've always been a bit of I think my dad would probably choose the term shithead, you know. So I think they're pretty used to it. In terms of like my mom, you know, she didn't even like watching me wrestle, so she's always been very like, you know, nail biting, worried about it. I grew up in California, so that's where they're all at. And my sister and my little brother are out in California with them, so they streamed my jiu-jitsu event with Fight to Win. They streamed it, and they were all, you know, all support. Most of my family, big Mexican family, you know, they're all about it. They streamed it. And I think there's always, you know, there's always the worry of the danger in the back of the mind. But I think that for the most part, they understand that this is something I'm passionate about. It's something I've put my time and effort into. And there's only so many things they can say, you know, before I'm just like, well, I'm going to do it anyways. So, so they're on board.
Right on, man. It's definitely good when the family is behind you, especially when you have a big family. You know what I mean? Because that's sometimes it could be a little hectic, but when they're all behind you, I mean, that's like having your own little army. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a big Mexican family. Because my family, like, okay, so I'm white, but I got
Are you
like,
Irish?
No,
I was
I'm
gonna
not.
say the Irish are
I'm
the Mexicans of the whites.
So I'm actually Venezuelan and Croatian on my mom's side, and then my dad's side, he's a fucking mutt. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But most of my bloodline is Croatian and Venezuelan. My mom was the first generation American here in my family.
So it's still probably a giant family, huh?
Yeah, and then there's been additions upon additions, and then so I got a lot of my mom's ex died, so all of her family is still my family.
Yeah.
So whenever I do something and they get, like I said, it's like a small army. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it definitely helps. Helps to have all those fans in your corner.
Exactly, 100%. And it's cool that they're supportive of, not just like you competing, but just your passion. It sounds like they're 100% behind like your passion. So that's pretty dope.
Yes, sir.
But I don't know how the fuck you can see that. Well, I don't know how big your screen is. But
Got that 2015 vision, my man.
yeah, look at this guy. He's gonna go like a sniper in this cage.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, if your opponent was in where I'm sitting right now, what would you tell this guy?
I can't wait to fight, my man. Can't wait to meet in the cage, and when it's all said and done, like you said, maybe I could buy you a beer, you buy me a beer. I've always been a big anime nerd, and one of my favorite characters is Goku. And one of the things with Goku, man, it's like he's just there to find out how strong he is. I want to fight the strongest people, get prepared, make sure I'm not walking into a slaughter. But I'm not here to beat the shit out of people. I'm here to beat the shit out of myself, find who's better than me, and then work on getting better than them. Because that's the real test of this, as iron sharpens iron, man sharpens man. So that's what I'm here for.
I dig it 100%. And of course, like I told you before I let you go, because I know you got to get back to work, but we're going to get to some shout outs here. So if you have training partners, coaches, sponsors, anybody you'd like, man, this is your time.
All right, beautiful. Well, first and foremost, shout out to my gym, J Pages Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, right out there and off the I-10 in Elliott and Tempe. Got the biggest jiu-jitsu open mat in the state. Come down Saturdays and Sundays, 12 to 2. Thank you to my coaches, Jay, Doug, Chuck, my training partners, Oscar, Gabriel de los Santos, the Dominican Death Squad, Ken Tran, Andres Ponce, All my boys down there at Jay's. Let me give a shout out to my work. Like I said, Bacanora for sponsoring me, paying for my beautiful short little Valley Tudo shorts, and the guys down at Bones Bodega here for doing all the embroidery and all the fun stuff, putting the names on there. Shout out to Filthy Animal Soap and Element Jiu-Jitsu out there in Scottsdale with my boy Joel Arroyo and Adrian Cordova out here making that athletic soap and offering some good looks jiu-jitsu and striking and wrestling wise. And then last but probably most importantly, thanks to my family, Ileana, Aaron, my nephew Eliseo, my brother-in-law Caesar, and my mom and dad Gloria and Nino. Thank you guys for allowing me to be where I am and keeping me out of jail for as long as you have.
100%. Yes. Let's continue that. Let's continue to keep you out of jail. 100%.
Yes, sir.
All right. So again, this is for RUF 43 over at the Celebrity Theater in downtown Phoenix. Now you got a code, right? So if people are going to be purchasing that pay-per-view or getting tickets, okay, at www.rufnation.com, there's a fighter code that they can put in there. It's going to be AGALINDO. So it's AGALINDO in all capitals. Okay. And a portion of that pay-per-view or that ticket goes to this man right here. So if you are looking to support this man and keep him out of jail, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. www.rufnation.com. Again, that code is AGALINDO in all caps. All right, my man. Well, look, we are literally like 4 days away. The weigh-ins are on Saturday. I'll be there. Don't worry. I'm going to be there.
I'll see you there.
I'll take your hand. I'll buy you a water. Okay. And then, the fights are on Sunday. So I'm very much looking forward to calling your fight. I know you got to get out of here. So one more time, www.rufnation.com. AGALINDO is the fighter code. We got the undeniable. He's fighting at 170 pounds versus Musgrove at RUF 43. My man, I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand. But until then, we'll see you later.
Appreciate you, hermano. See you later.